It was a noisy process as more than 120 dogs and cats were loaded into an airplane in Tulsa, headed to Mid-Atlantic states to be adopted. It's part of a special Humane Society project along with the Lance McCullers Foundation and the Houston Pet Set.
This is really exciting for the animals today. So working along with the Humane Society of Tulsa, our partner in this hub for Oklahoma, we have moved over 160 animals from Houston, Texas, and Oklahoma animal shelters, thanks to the Lance McCullers Foundation and also to Houston Pet Set. Got it? This is really exciting because this flight is absolutely chock full, and there's 11 shelters and rescues waiting for these animals on the ground in Manassas. So when they land, they're going to shelters to find loving homes. Unfortunately, right now there's a population disparity in our nation. So there used to be that we had a pet overpopulation problem nationwide. Now we have pockets of population disparity, and Texas happens to be one of those, and there's parts of Oklahoma that are still struggling. So what we aim to do at the Humane Society of the United States with our Shelter Ally project is to help to mentor these shelters to create life-saving sustainable programs, and at the same time work with our partner here at the Humane Society of Tulsa to provide some breathing room on transport. Transporting out of Texas is very difficult because geographically it's not a day drive to move these animals to safety. So the Humane Society of Oklahoma runs a hub that allows us to bring the animals up. They process the animals through the hub, and then we move them to our 350 partners nationwide. Over 160 are on the flight. Puppies, dogs, small dogs, medium dogs, large dogs. We've got some cats in there. So it's a pretty full flight.
Okay. Hi, baby. Hi, Biscuit.
I think it's a combination in Texas of the socioeconomic issues. We see a lot of problems in very deep rural shelters. We see a lot of animals coming over the Mexican border, and they don't have the spay-neuter resources that we have in other parts of our country. It's really interesting to look at a map of the U.S. and really look at the way our animal shelters are functioning now. In the Northeast, we see they don't have enough dogs and cats for the community to adopt. In the Southeast, they're still struggling a bit, but they don't have a lot of small and medium dogs for adoption. So we're trying to find ways to move these animals around in order to provide dogs for the community, cats for the community, and a selection in our shelter, because if we diversify in the shelter, it draws people in and everybody has a chance for adoption. If we hadn't flown these dogs today, if the Lance McCullers Foundation hadn't financed this plane today, we would have been driving these dogs for 12 or 18 hours, and that's just so hard on these animals. What makes this wonderful is that we're going to take off and we're going to arrive in 2.5 hours to Manassas, where shelters and rescues are going to be waiting to take these dogs to Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania.
I'm so excited that the flight got off, that everybody made it on board, everybody was healthy and good to travel, and that these animals are going to go on and hopefully get adopted very, very quickly. We average about one a month. And they are averaging around 100 animals a month. So this flight, to have 170 animals on it, was an awful lot, but we're so happy that they get to go on and have new opportunities.